Hey, Mark Hoja here again. So you want to be an English guru? You want to speak fluently or speak more like a native? Well, one thing you really need to know is present perfect tense. And today, that's what we're going to do.
Okay, so present perfect, let's have a look. What's it all about? So the important thing is to focus on the uses. What can we use it for? In what situations? So first we have this idea of an activity that started in the past and is continuing now and will probably continue in the future. Then the second function is what we call life experience. So that's when you want to say that you've done something. There's another one called a recent action, and we won't be talking about that today. We're only talking about these two activities. These are the main ones. So what does a timeline look like for a continuing activity? So as before, I said it started in the past and we're expecting it to continue into the future. So let's just remind ourselves of the format for present perfect. Has, have, plus verb 3. And in this continuing activity, the key words are for and since. So if you see a sentence with for and since, most of the time it's going to be present perfect. How about some examples? So let's say I have lived in London for 6 years. This means sometime in the past, in this example, 6 years ago, I moved to London. I've been living there since then, and I will continue to live there. My cousin has worked at Deloitte since 2006. So if we have a year, we use since. If we have a time period, we use for. How long have you been living in Turkey? Notice that this is present perfect continuous. And we have the been verb here. How long have you been living in Turkey? Answer, I have been living in Turkey for 6 years, since 2006. These are possible. So let's now look at life experience. The format, of course, is the same. Keywords, already and yet. So now we have something that started in the past, finished in the past, and it's not continuing. Okay, let's look at some examples. But before we do that, I just want you to remember that this verb 3 situation is also used in another system, which is the passive system. But instead of has, have, we have the be verb. So just be careful not to confuse these two. Okay, examples. Have you been to New Zealand? Yes, I've read all the Harry Potter books. Has, have, verb 3. Has, have, verb 3. Here's an interesting question for you. Which verb is this? This is the verb go. Have you been to New Zealand? I will go to New Zealand. This to tells us that this is go. Not many people know that. No, she hasn't seen The Matrix. So this is, if you imagine this is now, no, she hasn't seen The Matrix. What is the time period here? Actually, the time period here is from the day she was born until today. Interesting. So at no time in her whole life has she seen The Matrix. Okay, I just answered this question. What was the answer? We'll see more about that later. Okay, so let's have another one. Let's look at the negative and these special words. Have they visited their grandmother is the question. No, they haven't visited their grandmother. No, they haven't visited their grandmother yet. What is the difference here? What does adding this word yet do to the situation? So if I add the word yet, this tells me that they have a plan to visit their grandmother. In the first example, I don't know if they will visit their grandmother. Maybe they will, maybe they won't. But here, in the second example, I know for sure they will visit their grandmother. Okay, how about this one? Do you want to watch the latest Star Wars movie this weekend? So now we're going to look at how we use the word already. No thanks, I've already seen it. So this is a way to say that I've already done this activity. I've done this activity before. It's an emphasis. I could just say, no thanks, I've seen it. But adding already gives some more power to this word. Okay, so let's have another question. And this is a very important question. Many people are confused about the past tense and present perfect tense. So what's the difference? Well, the difference is time. Let's have a look. So this timeline is actually the same for past tense and present perfect tense. In both situations, it starts and finishes in the past. So, as I said, what's the difference? The difference is time. Let's look at that. So here we have present perfect. She has done her homework. What would the past look like for that sentence? She did her homework yesterday. So you see the difference is we have time in the past. Let's look at another example. Have you visited Africa? Did you visit Africa last month? Again, we have time. You haven't been to the doctor yet? You didn't go to the doctor last week? Notice that both of these are like, I'm shocked, I'm surprised. So the difference is time. Okay, so now I have something a bit more for the advanced students. Here are two examples. Which one is present perfect tense? Which one is past tense? Okay, so that's obvious. But what do you notice? You should notice that there is no time here, and this is actually okay. So in a situation where the time is obvious to both parties, then you can use either tense. So before I said we would talk a little bit more about the been verb. Have you been to Italy? So let's look at this. What is the be verb? Verb 1, verb 2, verb 3. What is the go verb? Verb 1, verb 2, verb 3. You tell me. Be verb, verb 1. Am is are. Was were. Been. Go verb. Go. Went. Been and gone. This is an exception. But notice that been is verb 3 for both of them. This can confuse many people. So let's look at go. Have you been to America? No, I haven't. Have you? Yes, I've been there many times. So let's have a look at the be verb, and again, this is a bit more advanced. The police arrested the thief. Is there a been verb here? Is there a be verb here? No. So this is just a normal sentence. This is a normal active sentence. Right? How about this one? The thief was arrested by the police. So what's the difference? I changed police and thief. I swapped their positions in the sentence. So this is passive, right? Now, the thief has been arrested. Okay, so this is like the life experience example. And again, it's passive, but it's perfect passive. The thief has been arrested. Everyone can relax. She has been in jail. What's this one? This is also the be verb, but it's active. You'll need to look at this a bit more to understand, or perhaps you can ask me a question later. Okay, so there you have it. Present perfect tense to help you speak more like a native and help you with your fluency. Here are the timelines, and of course the top one is continuing activity and the last one is life experience. So hopefully now you feel a lot more confident with your English, and of course if you think this video was useful, please share it with your friends and feel welcome to subscribe to the channel, click the bell so that you receive the notifications before anyone else does. And I will see you next time for another video to help you boost your English language skills.